you doing with your time at home? I hope you're enjoying some YouTube videos, and you can check out more of mine on the ReUpload Corona Craze playlist.
Hi, I'm Michty Max, and I'm here to share this hardcore neon and super bitchin' glow-in-the-dark lip art. I've been hankering to play with my UV watercolor paints, and since I wanted maximum brightness, I decided to cover my entire lips in a brilliant base of splotched on happiness, using almost the entire palette. I also stuck on some little stencil dudes to really make it go BAM! And yes, as you can see, it glows very strongly under a black light. To start, I primed my lips with MAC Prep and Prime Lip Base. Then I outlined the lips with the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, while trying not to giggle at the Simpsons episode I'm currently watching. I lightly filled in the lips with that chubby pencil, but then went on to the Makeup Forever Flash Palette White Cream to get a more opaque base. I applied that with a really crappy cheap lip brush, and while I was there, I increased the size of the lip shape for more room to play. Now for the star of the show, and something I've been itching to stick my fingers into lately, the Kryolan UV Aquacolor Palette. I'm gathering up some small brushes to work with, and I'm taking the MAC Fix Plus spray to squirt into the UV yellow shade, then swishing a fluffy brush into the pan to coerce the paint into a creamy consistency, and I'm dabbing the powerful neon yellow in random splotches around the lips. I'm going over the same area again to make sure it's at full capacity of neon awesomeness, but you don't want to do this while the paint is too wet, as it can take off the product. For my next trick, I have the UV red shade, which gets the same Fix Plus liquefying treatment, and I added some splashes of color all over the place again. I used a smaller brush for the deeper color, so the bright tones don't get overrun and pillaged by the more vibrant insurgents. And next, the UV pink comes to the party with a refreshing slosh right in there. I took it all around town, even adding some along the lip line to fill out the design as if it is a pattern covering the lips, not just dots all over the place. Adding the white base really helps the paints to look their brightest. I'm varying the area covered by each splotch of color in a completely serendipitous fashion for a chaotic design that looks free-spirited and ever so flower child. I whipped out the UV green for some neon slimer action and added blips of the green to fill out the arrangement with a smaller brush. You could plan out and think deeply about where you want the colors to go so they merge well and make sense color theory-wise, but I just went in and went nuts. I'm using the brush with the pink on it to cover more area and fill out the pattern so the smears unite to form a magnificent rainbow of neon goodness. As the wacky motif unveils itself, I'm also going out the other colors into the spaces that need a little more of this and that. I originally was going to keep a lighter color scheme, but I couldn't resist adding a teensy bit of the UV purple in a few discreet places. I'm mostly using a merciful and gentle stabbing motion to blur the chunks together, without adding more water and just using whatever product is left on the various brushes to let the bright insanity converge over the surrounding splotches. If you get some of the deeper pigments on your brush, just wipe it off and pick up some more of the brilliant hue you want to smash around, and keep thrusting at that spot to your heart's content. Shades like green, purple, and red can be hard to blend into each other without ending up with a grody, muddy brown blob of disgusting. However, tapping the product on like this and not swirling the colors together will give you a decent effect if you used the Mad Frenzy method of placement. I layered the neon paint sporadically over the uniting edges, leaving the bristles of the brush to splay out a bit and speckle out at the edges. That way the colors don't mix together, but still give a merged appearance. As long as the bulk of the lips appear consistent, it still works out fine. I played around with it until I was satisfied, and ended up with this very fun and explosive depiction of what would happen if the UV palette was booby-trapped and blew up in your face when you opened it. Well, at least blew up on your lips. I really dig on this design, and the asymmetrical neon-colored chaos is delightfully exciting, not to mention an absolute blast under UV light. I bought this handheld blacklight off eBay, and with a bunch of AA batteries, it's good to go and lets you see the magnificent disembodied glowing mouth right here. I thought I can have more fun with this colorful base, so I decided to grab some of these nail-out, cut-out shapes and some Prozade adhesive, dabbing the glue directly onto my skin, either picking it up with tweezers or an Embelly Jelly stick. I chose a few different designs, like this trailing cluster of stars, which I placed around my lips until I ran out of them, and then I moved on to some whimsical butterflies and a few light-hearted flowers to fill out the lips. Any sort of black overlay or freehand pattern over this bright base makes it even more vibrant and striking, but this is just a quick bit of fun with my Kryolan neon paints. Since the paints are water activated and your mouth is full of saliva, this is by no means a lip art that you can wear for any amount of time or try to eat with, but it sure was awesome to do. Maybe some sort of makeup fixer or setting spray could extend the life, but it's really just for the fuck of it and for art's sake. I really wanted to see these colors crammed around each other, plus I was desperate for some UV glowing action. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this high-powered, eyeball-searing lip art tutorial, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Also check out my band and podcast on iTunes. And if you want to send me a letter or something, I have my PO box in the description box.